G major for my major G's. What up, y'all? It's your boy Danny DeLorean, back at you with another video. You keep coming, I'll keep feeding you, baby ducklings, more content. In today's video, I'll be talking about how I'm planning to set a new personal record in the 2021 Chicago Marathon. I'm going to talk about three main ideas. Let's see what they are. First, we've got training and preparation. Second will be nutrition and fueling. And third will be course strategy. So stick with me, whether you're watching this in 2021 for this year's race or in a future year. Please feel free to comment down below with any questions or tips or advice of your own that you might have, and I'll do my best to respond to every single one of them. So let's get into this video. This is my new transition, so you can't really tell if I'm cutting. When it comes to gear, you want to make sure that you're wearing something you've worn before, something you're comfortable in. You don't want to be wearing anything brand new on race day. Even if you get to the expo and you love your new Chicago Marathon shirt, I recommend you don't wear this on race day because you never know how your body's going to react, and you don't want to deal with a rash or a little leak or anything like that on race day. So what I've been doing is I've been wearing exactly what I'm going to be wearing on race day, which is what I'm wearing right now, for my previous few long runs, just to make sure that it's comfortable and to avoid any unnecessary risks. So if we could switch over to camera 2, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm wearing, starting with the shoes. I said camera 2, thank you. I've got my New Balance running shoes on that I've been wearing for the past probably month and a half. I have my trusty Balaga socks. I've got my shorty shorts, my belty belt, and actually with my belt, I have been carrying everything that I will be carrying on race day. That means more energy gels, a pair of headphones. I've been carrying that in my pouch regardless of the distance of my run. So even if I'm running just 3 miles, I'm carrying 26 miles worth of needs in this little bad boy. And last of all, I got my little shirty shirt. So you want to make sure that all of your gear is ready to go, washed, and laid out in front of you when you go to bed the night before the race. You could even sleep in your clothes if you need to. And then one last thing is, if you're flying in for the race, I recommend that you carry your race day gear in your carry-on bag rather than in a checked bag. Just in case something might happen, you will have that peace of mind that you'll have that with you at the very least. So that's all I have to say about gear. Next, we'll be talking about what's in this belty belt in the nutrition section. When it comes to nutrition, what goes into your body on the days leading up to the race will influence what comes out of your body on race day. What comes out of you on race day in terms of performance. So what I do is I start carbo loading typically 3 days before the race. My girlfriend calls it cardboard loading because the food is pretty bland. What I do is I have whole wheat pasta, low sodium pasta sauce, and I use less pasta sauce than I normally would, and then low fat turkey. Mix it all together in a big bowl and then just put it down. It's not the most exciting food, but in my past experience, I've learned to avoid cheeses. I wouldn't recommend a chicken parm that's loaded with mozzarella and Parmesan. Avoid too much butter or oil. One year I had shrimp scampi the day before a half marathon, and that race kind of had me feeling pretty sluggish. So even if you have to cut out the excitement from your diet, just know that as soon as you cross the finish line, you could have those special edition Pokemon Oreos that we've all been waiting for. So that's for the days leading up to the race. On the morning of the race, I'm planning to have a plain whole wheat bagel, no spread, just like my personality. On the car ride to the race, that should be about maybe 2 hours before the race to give your body some time to digest it. Also, I'll be drinking plenty of water well in advance of the race, the days leading up to the race, including the morning of the race, but not probably much less or very little water within 1 hour before the start time. And I'll be planning to use the bathroom as much as possible to make sure I don't have any pit stops along the race. And then 30 minutes before the race, maybe a little longer, 45 minutes before the race, I'm planning to have these 2 honey stinger waffles, which I actually tried for the first time in my last marathon, and I thought it was delicious, and that race ended up going well. So I've been eating these before my long runs recently, and maybe I'm a little brainwashed, but it should give me the nutrition to start off on the right foot. And then during the race, I've got all of my energy gels packed up in here. I've got 6 of them. So I've also got my headphones in there. I won't be eating these, but I'll be talking about them in a moment. I've got 1, 2, 3 just fell, 4, 5, and 6 energy gels. And I have a plan for when I'll be taking those. So as I look at the course map, and I'll show you a quick image of each of these locations on the course map, I will be taking the first one after 5 miles, the second one after 10 miles, the third before 15 miles, the fourth after 22 miles, and then the fifth either after 24 or 25. And I plan to only take half of a gel on the final one because I don't have too much further to run, and I don't want to upset my stomach unnecessarily. So yeah, I have 6 gels, even though I'm planning to take 5. You never know what will happen. It's good to be prepared. In my 2 previous marathons, I've always had an extra gel at the end of the race. And it's not too much extra weight or anything like that, so I don't mind being a little over-prepared in that way. The reason I've chosen these locations is because they're right next to, or they're right before, an aid station where I can get some water, because I like to have a little swig of water to clear my mouth after those gels. So they're pretty sweet, and it's good to it's a good chance to replenish on hydration as well. So that's my plan in terms of nutrition. If you have advice about nutrition, please feel free to leave a comment down below. I'm still a learner. This is only my 3rd marathon, but I'm hoping that what I've learned and what I've experienced in my past 2 races will help me in being prepared for this one, and it could help you as well. We need to talk. We need to talk about course strategy. This will be my first time ever running the Chicago Marathon. So everything that I'm about to tell you either comes from conversations with other runners who've run this race before, or from articles that I've read online about the strategy for this particular course. You may have read the same articles. If you have run this race before, please do us all a favor and leave a comment down below with your #1 piece of advice or #1 thing that we need to know that can benefit us on race day. I know that I'll definitely appreciate it as a first-time Chicago Marathon runner, and the other viewers who are watching this video and also running for the first time, they will definitely appreciate your advice. So thank you in advance to anyone who's willing to do that. Now let's get into some of the pieces of advice that I have. The #1 thing that I've been hearing is that there is a lot of crowd noise, which is a good thing. It should give you a boost. But all of that crowd noise, for the most part, is in the first half of the race. So once you reach around the half marathon point, you'll be running away from the city, away from downtown, and away from most of the crowd noise. So you'll be on your own for about 6 or 7 miles just with your thoughts. I know we've all been there before, and sometimes your little, not your little brain, but your brain is telling you to give up or to slow down, things like that. So that's why I've got these headphones with me, ready to go. I'll keep them in my pouch. I'm not planning to take them out until after the 13th mile, but I will have them ready to go just in case I feel inclined to need them. Another thing that I will be doing personally is running with a Nike pacing group. Although I've heard that it's better to start the race slow and then have negative splits throughout the race, these groups will have an even split throughout the race. And the one that I'm running in, it's the 3 hour, 25 minute target group, and the average pace for mile average pace per mile will be 7 minutes and 49 seconds. That means with even splits, the very first mile will be 7 minutes and 49 seconds approximately, and then the very last mile will be 7 minutes and 49 seconds as well. So this is something that I need to keep in mind. I need to trust that the pacing group is the right one for me. And this is hard to do in my specific personal case because I've been doing most of my training in Denver. And all of my long runs have been above a 7 minute 49 second mile pace. My last run was at 7:57, and that was a 14 miler. But from what I've been reading online, and please, if you have experience with this, comment below as well. When I'm going from 5,200 feet of elevation down to around 600 feet of elevation, I should be getting approximately 30 seconds back per mile. I think that might be an overestimate, and I don't want to trust that I will be guaranteed to get that 30 seconds back. But I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to try to stick with that pacing group. If I feel like I'm doing really well and feel very comfortable at that pace and I want to pick it up, I will pick it up and I will go ahead of that group, but not too early because I don't want to burn out accidentally and then watch all those friends from earlier in the race just glide right by me. Yeah, that's not a good feeling. When we get towards the end of the race, I have learned about this new strategy. Maybe it's not new, but it's new to me, called fishing. When maybe for the final 6 miles of the race, after you reach 20 miles, you want to find someone who's ahead of you, but they might not be going at the same pace as you. They might be a little slower. You want to cast it out, catch the fish, reel them in, so you're catching up to them at this point. Once you get them, kiss them, release them, 2-finger salute, later noobs, and then on to the next fish. So you'll just be catching runners. You'll feel more competitive and you won't be overthinking just running at the end of the race. So this is a strategy that I'm planning to implement. We'll see how I'm feeling at the 20th mile point, but I'm looking forward to that. It sounds kind of fun, like a little game. I'm not going to actually kiss these competitors and then say later noob. I'll probably get punched in the face in that circumstance, but that's what I'll be doing in my head. Okay, so those are the tips that I have for this course. I've heard that it's a very fast course. I have only done one other race before. I've done the same race 2 times and don't know how fast that one is. But I'm hoping that with this strategy in place, with the pacing group, and then the hopes of fishing at the end of the race, I'll be able to beat my PR, which came just under 3 hours and 30 minutes in the New York City Marathon in 2019. All right, let's get ready for this outro. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate that you have stuck around till the end. I hope you learned something valuable. If there's something you think I missed or something that is important to know that you think I should have included in this video, please let me know down in the comments below. It would also benefit the other runners, as I mentioned earlier, and maybe someone else's comment will benefit you. So I'm hoping that everything that I've mentioned in this video will culminate to give me the opportunity to get a new personal record, a new PR time. My current PR is 3 hours, 29 minutes, and 32 seconds. That's from the 2019 New York City Marathon. I'm now 2 years older, 2 years more handsome, and ready to go. So I'll see you out there on the course. Before I go, just 2 final pieces of advice. First, study the course. Make sure you know where the aid stations are, everything that you need, so that you can anticipate them if you need them on race day. And then second, at the Marathon Expo, talk to the coaches. They'll be able to answer any questions that you might have much better than I have. I'm an amateur. I've run 2, it will be 3 marathons. I have my advice from my experience, but those people have done it for far longer and they've done it far better than I have. So those are the experts. Take the time to wait in line even to ask them a question. They'll help you out more than I have been able to. Thank you again for watching, and if you see me at the race, you know what I'll be wearing. Stop by, say hello, and good luck. Go you.